Welcome into the PFF NFL Daily today, answering a question that's on everybody's mind. Is there any wide receiver better than Justin Jefferson in today's NFL? Fresh off of one of the best wide receiver performances I think that we've seen when it comes to clutch and every single catch, essentially leading to an incredible victory for the Minnesota Vikings. Justin Jefferson, he could do it all. But Sam, is he the hands down best receiver in the NFL right now?
Is it a burning question? Is that what we're dealing with here?
Burning I love my burning questions. Burning question, is Justin Jefferson the best receiver in the NFL? Go.
I'm not ready to say he's the best, but the number of receivers I think that you would definitely take above Justin Jefferson is really small at this point. I think there's one absolutely that I would take above him, maybe two. That's probably it. Tyreek Hill, I think, is the guy that I would take above him and anybody else in the NFL right now. The combination, the unique combination of speed, quickness, and his ability to win contested catches, to attack the ball at the catch point, is massively underrated for a guy as
Tyreek Hill you're talking about, by the way, right?
Yeah, Tyreek Hill. For a guy as quote unquote small as he is, he wins a ridiculous number of catches at the catch point because he goes to attack the ball in a way some other guys don't. I still think I would take Jamar Chase before Justin Jefferson. Obviously, Chase is injured right now, but look, throughout the start of their careers, I think Chase has done enough to show that he's still that guy relative to Jefferson. And if you sort of the totality of the information we know about both guys, in the same offense in college, Jamar Chase was clearly the superior wide receiver. I think that will be borne out over a long period of time in the NFL. So I think I would still lean towards taking Chase over Jefferson. That's probably the end of the list, though.
All right, let me circle back to the Chase Jefferson debate, but I want to agree on Tyreek Hill for sure. I think he's the guy that is the top receiver in the NFL. I've listed Tyreek Hill as the top receiver in the NFL the last couple of years. This is the first year his PFF grade is really matching that. He does have the highest grade. His yards per route run figure is out of this world at 3.61. That's like a college type of number, and it's about half a yard per route better than the next closest receiver in the NFL. So I think Tyreek Hill, as I've said a few times, you want him to be a deep threat, he can do it. You want him to be a high-volume slot receiver, he can do it. Yak, speed, contested catches, like you say. Tyreek Hill, not only his production, but the benefit to his offenses. And I think we're seeing that in Miami. So we have that out of the way. I would say Tyreek Hill's the best.
Yep.
Fascinating debate between Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, because Jefferson played in the slot at LSU in college. He's taken to the outside. I think I might take Jefferson over Chase at this point. I'm impressed with his contested catch ability. He's been one of the best in the league since entering. His speed, Jefferson, he can create after the catch. He's 14th in the league in yak per reception this year. Much like Jamar Chase, where speed wasn't supposed to be a part of his game, but it has been. Jefferson wasn't. He really shouldn't be a contested catch guy. Shouldn't be a yak guy. But he's a great route runner, great yak, great contested catches, wins at every level. I think Jefferson might have the slight edge over Chase for me.
I think Chase is more physically imposing than Justin Jefferson is. I'm not saying that's necessarily a deal breaker, but when it's all as close as it is between these two guys, I think I would lean towards the guy that is physically scarier, and that's Jamar Chase. I think that's also what brings a guy like AJ Brown into the conversation, because he brings that combination of physicality and size and speed that, Justin Jefferson is not bad in any of these areas, but I don't think he stacks up to those guys quite.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, AJ Brown too has that Tyreek Hill effect that I was just talking about. I love seeing the AB analysis, right? The fact that these guys left their teams. I know the Chiefs are still cooking without Tyreek Hill, but they've got Mahomes. Tyreek Hill has transformed the Dolphins offense. AJ Brown, I believe, has transformed the Eagles offense. Both of those guys have taken quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts, like a Tua, and made them better in year three for those respective quarterbacks. So I think that is a huge part of the equation, is making your team better, being that number one that has the gravity to attract coverage, but also be able to produce. So yeah, AJ Brown being in the conversation, I have no problem with that one.
What about the sort of forgotten receiver this year, Devonte Adams? Devonte Adams was the number one wide receiver in the NFL over the last several years in terms of production, in terms of sort of blend of everything he brought to the table. But then he goes to the Raiders. the Raiders stink. The offense is a disaster. Devonte Adams isn't playing the way he used to. So everybody forgets about Devonte Adams as one of the best receivers in the league.
Adams is losing the AB analysis here. But
Right.
other than, I mean, it depends on how you look at it. Was it his chemistry in Green Bay, and that's why they're struggling? Was it the fact that Adams isn't as transcendent as some of the other guys? Is it just the fact that Adams is in his 30s and he's just a tick older than some of those other guys? My theory was he's more of a technician, and maybe it's going to take more time for him and Derek Carr, where the other guys are more physical freaks, as we've laid out here. So it's a couple different theories on that, but I think Adams has certainly dropped off just a little bit. All right, I want to tell everyone about our friends over at PrizePicks, Sam. I want to get your picks in a minute here, but PrizePicks, it's all about daily fantasy, making entries and picking more or less than the number on certain props here, Sam. So what do you have for us this week?
Yeah, dialed up a little prop bet here using the PrizePicks thing. You can go to the NFL. You can do any other sport as well. I'm going to pick Daniel Jones passing for more than 185.5 yards. I'm going to pick Russell Wilson passing for more than 230.5 yards. I think that's actually a little low given Wilson's sort of overall production. And then one that I'm taking less on, Jonathan Taylor, less than 80.5 yards with the Philadelphia Eagles. Run defense not being quite as bad as advertised. And then the additions of the likes of Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph, I am buying that they will hold Jonathan Taylor to a little bit less than we're expecting.
Love it. So all you have to do is download the PrizePicks app or go to prizepicks.com to sign up and play daily fantasy sports. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with promo code DAILY. If you deposit $100, PrizePicks gives you $100. Deposit $50, PrizePicks will give you $50. So don't forget to enter promo code DAILY at sign up for an instant deposit match up to $100. All right, best receivers in the league. What about the guy that Justin Jefferson essentially replaced in Stephon Diggs? Are we forgetting him? Yeah. Right now, he's our number 2 graded receiver, just above Jefferson. But hey, we just saw Jefferson take over the Bills game, so of course he's the winner.
Yeah, I think Stephon Diggs definitely deserves to be in the conversation. Diggs just brings such a high floor to the conversation. Like, obviously, he's helped by having Josh Allen as his quarterback. And despite Josh Allen leading the league in interceptions, he's also going to give you a ton of opportunities and a ton of great passes heading Diggs' direction. Diggs is a lot like Jefferson in terms of there's nothing necessarily physically imposing about him. He's not the biggest guy in the world. He's not the fastest guy in the world. He's not going to terrify you with physicality and speed, but he's so good at everything. He's a great route runner. He's surprisingly good at the catch point for a guy that's not a giant and not a physical freak. And he's just such a well-rounded threat and capable of having those kinds of days that we saw from Justin Jefferson against the Buffalo Bills. And like, you know, as spectacular as the Justin Jefferson one-handed catch was, like, people forget about the one Diggs had, you know, a few minutes before, which was one of the catches of the year as well.
If this was last year, we would have Cooper Kupp in the conversation. One of the best receiving seasons we've ever seen statistically, all the way through the Super Bowl. Much different year for Kupp, who has the high volume, but average depth of target of only 7. I mean, that is a dink and dunk type of offense that's not really taking advantage of Kupp's skills, but we saw his route running, his ability at the catch point last year, his feel as a route runner, outstanding, but he gets that little slot advantage and everything that probably helps his stats just a little bit.
It does. I think, you know, Tyreek Hill, one of the things that makes him the best receiver in the NFL is that he's good at everything, and you can line him up in any system, in any position, and he'll be amazing, right? You can put him outside against press coverage, and he'll beat that all day long. You can put him inside in the slot and give him free releases and use him as a Wes Welker style underneath horizontal guy, and he will destroy underneath defenders, and you'll wreck house that way. Cooper Kupp is a guy where, okay, he actually has pretty good numbers against press coverage, but that's the question is, if you put him in one of these other roles and said, all right, you need to be the X receiver on the outside, winning consistently against press coverage, against the number 1 corner of the opposition every single game, how would it go? And if it would go worse, does that sort of diminish his ability in your eyes? Or do you sort of just say, look, it's horses for courses, and he's the best slot interior threat that there is?
All fair question. So going back to the original one, is Justin Jefferson the best? I think we both vote no. We're both going Tyreek Hill as the best receiver in the league. I'll go Justin Jefferson number 2. You're going Jamar Chase number 2.
I think Jefferson's 3.
All right, and Jefferson 3 for Sam. Let us know in the comments who is the best receiver in the NFL right now.